being such especially within the Black community, and you mentioned about your daughter being Christian. Did were you ever worried about the response of how the community might take it and see it, or did you or any backlash, or how was it?
I knew that there was a possibility just because of how, with Christianity and how people use the Bible and religion and all of
Mm,
that stuff to whatever. Incidentally, we didn't get a lot of that. Like we got so much support, and
mm,
quite honestly, so in our inboxes, my wife and I, so many people were just like, "Oh my God, like you guys remind me of me and my husband. It's no different. Like I see me and it's people focus on sex when they think about people same gender loving. They immediately go to what goes on in the bedroom, which is freaking weird because that's not what I do when I see couples. That's not the first thing I think about is them what they do in the bedroom. And because I'm a queer woman doesn't mean that I might not even be having sex. I might be abstinent. I might not even be having sex. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
so that like it's really interesting, but just the outpouring of wow, you guys, my daughter, da da da, and I really, I felt away, and I didn't know how to. I wasn't supportive, but now I see you guys, and now like I get it, and I look at it differently, and I'm able to support. There was a lot of that. There was
Mm,
this 80-year-old woman. We were in BB King's in New York, and this woman, she was like 80 years old. And when I'm telling you, oh my gosh, we were in tears. She was like, I know you guys. She was like, y'all just keep on loving each other. Y'all don't worry about what. It was, I couldn't, I was just like, y'all, your relationship is beautiful. Y'all keep on loving each other the way you do. I'm standing there just tears just pouring down my face
wow.
because I was just like, love it, she sees the love, she sees the friendship, she sees what we have,
Hmm.
not the fact. She's not thinking about what we do, it just that's just what it was. Like, and that's why I wanted to make sure that like I would never shoot scenes in my bedroom. I would never shoot scenes in, of course we hugged, we, cuddled and things normal, but things that people couples do. But like all of that, like shooting in bed and all that, because of that, we
Mm,
purposely didn't do any of that,
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to share my story. I'm always, hey, this is me. So
Yeah, but I think the final question has always been because the last people saw was just you and your daughter not coming to the wedding on TV, but you've got your grandchildren. Is the relationship better, good
oh,
now?
we're great. We it wasn't bad then, and it's even better now that we've healed some things.
Okay.
That we, she's been able to work through her own stuff based on the things, the way she experienced me as a parent and what she went
Ah,
through. You understand? So she
yeah.
had to have that, and now because I'm present now and I'm available emotionally, and I've been accountable. The rest is up to her. I'm here whenever she needs me for whatever she needs me for emotionally to work through some things. I'm available. I'm accountable. I'm open,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. My babies, I get to I have such joy in that area. I get to experience and do it a little differently. I get to do it 5 different ways now, a little better and different because it's 5 individual souls that are unique and fun and funny, and I get to spend time with them, and I'm getting to know my daughter so much more as a woman, and I'm so proud of her as a mother, you know. Uh and even though it wasn't it was adverse, her a lot of her experience of me as a mom, even in that, I know that it's helped to be a better parent, the
Mm,
best parent she can be.
yeah.
So when I see her, I'm just like, that's I it also helps me with the forgiveness of myself, you know, and having gratitude and seeing and being so proud, of her as a parent.
I was doing my maths and I reckon that you had her before you signed to Uptown.
Yes, I had her at 19. I signed to Uptown. I was 24.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, who was looking after her when you were?
my mom. I
Ah,
was blessed with a mom that had my back. She
okay,
had my back, and we made it work. And her dad, like her dad was in her life. It was a village, so we
okay.
did that.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you get the support when we talked about your abandonment and then how heavy and him leaving in the second album and not really connecting it to later on. Have you had the opportunity to go through therapy and stuff to be able to talk through?
absolutely. I sure did. I actually did EMDR.
Okay.
Did a modality. EMDR. I'm sure you're probably familiar with it.
Yeah.
That was like amazing, and I sought that out when I saw it. Like I was like looking because I knew things were a little weird, but I knew what my stuff was, but knowing and working through it and healing it.
Yeah.
So I knew I had trauma. I
Yeah.
had trauma. I'm a sexual assault survivor.
Wow.
Uh, and so I had a lot of things that I needed to process. So I wanted to make sure because I knew I had to process, I was looking for modalities, and when I stumbled upon that and did my research with EMDR, I knew immediately that that was something that I wanted my therapist to be versed in and
Yeah.
use a modality. So I looked for a therapist that was uh, that did EMDR. It worked wonders for me. So
Uh,
yeah,
what's encouraging for you saying this because one of part of what I always try and do is to get my guests to talk about their experience going for therapy to normalize it because within our black community, therapy is seen as no, we go to church, we'll pray about it, talk to our hairdresser, we don't talk to strangers and being able to have you share your own experience is helping me to get the message out to normalize the fact that
yeah,
as a race we're struggling because we're not going through getting the proper help that we need, especially when we go
correct,
through traumas and things.
correct. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. Uh, Always have been, and
Yeah,
uh, I I know where we know where it comes from. We know the why of the reason we're guarded that way because it being vulnerable in that way and having people know things were wrong could was deadly for us at a point in our history.
mm,
Being here in America, being there in Europe, it people knowing your vulnerabilities, and it was deadly for us. Bottom line, but we're not faced with those imminent dangers, right? As
yeah,
we were before, and we have to recognize that as a people, we have generational trauma
yeah,
that is flowing coursing through that cellular uh okay. And then we have the situational, right? Things that, environmental, how, we're vulnerable when we're kids. We don't have control over our environment, who we're raised by, who our parents are, where we live, what we are at the mercy. And so absolutely everything stems from those years and
yeah,
how you were or weren't uh cared for or whatever. So
yeah,
it's not a blame game. It's just knowing that a lot of the mechanisms that we have that we use to survive, we outgrow them because they
mm,
don't serve us. Things change. You don't need certain things to protect yourself when you were at 30, that you can't use the same mechanisms that you use at 12. It doesn't work. It's like having your first grade outfit on
yeah,
at
yeah,
30. Can you imagine
yeah,
having like your first grade picture day outfit on,
Yeah.
how crazy that would look.
Yeah.
That, our mechanisms don't serve us, and they become a hindrance, and a liability, emotional liability, I like to call it. So we have to learn how to understand that we're accountable at a certain point. Nobody else is. We are responsible for ourselves. It's not mommy and daddy's fault. At 20 years old, I'll give you 22, but at a certain point,
Yeah.
you have to take the reins on that and manage, right?
Yeah.
And clear and forgive and heal and all of those things to make sure you're okay, so you can break the cycles. I broke the cycle of addiction in my family. I was like, my
Wow.
grandkids aren't coming into a world where I'm
Mm.
addicted and I'm carrying on that cycle. It's not happening. And it didn't. And I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's important for us. There's a lot of generational curse around addiction, even things like diabetes and things. It's generational. If we don't break it, our kids will pick up and still carry those things as well.
That's
Uh,
true, because it's not all just predisposed. All of it is not predisposed. It's bad choices,
yeah,
bad decision making, all of those things. I don't want to say bad, but just not the healthiest.
not the healthiest. Yeah,
When we know better, we have to do better. We are charged with doing better. Period. That's it. And we
yeah,
have too much knowledge at our fingertips on a daily basis, just saturated with it to not do better with
yes.
the information we have.
Well, Monifah, I've really kept you for a while. I
Yeah, you
appreciate you.
have. I'm starving. I gotta blow my nose.
No, no, no,
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry, guys.
no, no.
Thank you for, oh my gosh, I just got a bad head cold out of nowhere.
Oh, and I would appreciate the fact that you're still able to be in a true for for almost 2 hours and and have this
I
conversation.
appreciate you.
What can we expect from you? You mentioned the NFT and 25th anniversary of Touch It. Anything? Are you, any tours, any plays, or anything else that we should look out for?
Well, I'm working on a screenplay from a book that I have. It's been about 25 years, quite honestly, since I read this book, and it has not been. And I'm just starting to write the screenplay for it
Wow.
because I am going to. This movie is going to be done. It's called Cane River. Gonna do it.
And I'm still remembering you saying, and we talked about your first albums, you didn't think about writing. Now you're thinking about writing screenplays. You're really taking things to another level. It's amazing um how powerful it is to just to visualize and being in a moment where nothing seems impossible.
And nothing is impossible because once if you so I heard something today, I can't remember it, but it was so profound. If you dream, if you I mean you're you're gonna go as far as your mind is gonna allow you to go.
Mm,
So you
yeah,
gotta quiet the noise, the oh my God, that's impossible. Oh, that's not gonna happen. You gotta quiet that noise. I'm
yeah,
still doing a lot of on a spiritual level, doing a lot of self worship,
mm,
right? Divine self, because God, God reside. God is here. He's a part of me. I am a part. It is, right?
mm,
So just really getting into divine self and self worshiping to tap into that.
yeah. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.